Hey YouTubers, got another little gun review for you today. It's one that many of you have mixed feelings on, but I'm just going to kind of go through a little bit of the information and kind of give you some background info and some information, and then I'll give you what I think of it. Today we've got the P64 Makarov variant. It was designed and implemented and used by Poland in 1964. It was officially adopted, thus the P64 designation. And it was used from 1964 until approximately 1983 when it was replaced by the P83, which is an improved version of this gun. And I really want one, just haven't been able to get one lately. It fires the 9x18 millimeter Makarov, so it's a little bigger than a 380, yet smaller than a 9x19. This magazine holds 6. I only have 5 in here for whatever reason, but holds 6 rounds in the magazine. You can see the round right here. I've got the Brown Bear Special, little cheapo deluxe surplus stuff in there. But yeah, anyways, hands are all greasy. You can see this one's got some numbers scratched on it and stuff. It's kind of interesting seeing all this Eastern Bloc stuff with the little electro penciled markings on it. It's pretty interesting. So we'll go over some of the markings on the gun. On the left side of the pistol, you've got the designation 9mm, which is 9mm Makarov because they didn't use 9x19. And then P64, which is for whatever reason in quotes. I don't understand that. Like, it's either a P64 or it's not. I don't understand what it means. Maybe it's something in the Polish language that means like, oh, this is the title or the model. I don't know. But anyways, and you get the safety right here, the selector. It's pretty cool. It's got a decocker that kind of goes along with that. I don't trust decockers, but this one seems to work fine. And yeah, so there's the markings on the left side. Pretty much nothing else. There's some looks like arsenal markings or whatnot right there. I'm gonna wait till this focuses. Come on, baby, you gotta focus there. On the trigger guard, I couldn't tell you what that is, but and then on the right side of the gun, we've got the radom symbol, the circle 11 factory. You get the serial number right here, and then you've got the year right there. So 1970 on this one. This guy would just focus. Come on, baby. You can see those are really crisp and sharp. Once this thing decides to quit being a dunce. Whatever. Alright, so you can see the import mark. This is IO, Inner Ordnance. Pretty common importer of the surplus stuff. And then that looks like it's about it, except for the serial number on the frame itself. So you got a serial number on the receipt or on the slide right there. Why is this thing not focusing? It's starting to drive me nuts. Really? Well, it says it's focused. So serial number right there, serial number right there. So those are the two locations of serial numbers. This one happens to be matching, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's interesting. The sights on these are actually really small. You can kind of see that, and I'll kind of aim it down the camera for you. Get really close up here. So that's what the sights look like when you're aiming down them. Kind of got the little post on the end, and you just line it up in the V-notch. I don't know why this isn't focusing correctly. Because the front sight is supposed to be blurry, blurry, and the rear sight's... Actually, I'm wrong. So this is what it looks like. The rear sight's going to be blurry. And then the front sight's going to be what you see and then your target. So there's the sights. So now we're going to go ahead and just disassemble this, just field strip it, kind of show you the simplicity. First thing you're going to do is officially, okay. So your gun's sitting there like this. You're going to drop the magazine using the little European style Walther mag release, which I don't like. So, and then ensure your weapon's clear. Visually inspect the chamber, all that happy stuff. Get the weapon off safe. Now, since this is a Makarov, it's pretty easy to do, and it's just like the rest of them, where you just take the trigger guard, pull it out and kind of up to the side like that. It comes out of the little channel right there. So you can kind of see how that works. And then you just take the slide, you pull back, up, and then let it go forward. And there you've got a disassembled P64, or pretty much any Makarov. They come apart like that. Really simple, easy design. Now you've got it field stripped, and it's good to go. You can see the rifling in here is pretty cool. Unlike the CZ82, this thing actually has lands and grooves versus the polygonal rifling. And the bore's in pretty good shape, which is nice. It's like a 3.5-inch barrel. Yeah, the finish on here, you can kind of see it's been used, but it's not to the point where it's just totally screwed. So it's got a lot of years of use left in it. Got a really decent patina on it, or not a patina, but a finish wear going. A few years it'll have a patina on it, which is neat. Looks like it's a blued finish. It could be painted. I don't know exactly what they did, but it looks to me like it's blued. I mean, there's the close-up. Looks like it's blued, so it probably is. It's weird. You can see how the safety works here. If you push this little guy down, you can't pull the trigger because it moves this bar down. I don't want to take the whole thing apart for the sake of little parts flying everywhere, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass to get back together. That's how the safety works when you flip the thing down. You flip it up, and you can fire it. So, little caveat there. So, one thing I don't like about this gun is the fact that it doesn't have a slide release. I'll show you when I get it back together. So we're going to go ahead and reassemble this. You just put the spring on, just reverse order. Take the slide, put it over the top, pull it back, down, and over, and voila. Now I'm making sure it's clear again, because you don't be an idiot and put a magazine in. Do a functions check. So back and forth on the slide. Doesn't go forward. And then pull the trigger, check the safety, and it won't cock. So you're good to go. Yeah, so what I was saying is it doesn't have a slide release. So I'm going to drop all the rounds out of the magazine and show you what it does when you fire the last round out of the magazine. Magazine's clear. So you'll fire and it'll lock back like this, which is normally fine because on a semi-auto you just click after you reload. Or some people like to do the pull it. But I think on a pistol of this size, a slide release would be a really good feature, and I don't know why they didn't put one on here. So you have to like drop the magazine and then go back on it or load a full magazine. Not a big deal if you really think about it, but it would just, I would have probably tried to put something like that on there if I was designing this pistol. Not a big deal though. This thing is very comfortable. It's very, it's small. Like it looks like it'd be a beefy gun. It's a small beefy gun if that makes any sense. It's built really well, but it's tiny. So this fits right in the palm of my hand, right? It's really concealable. It's got a flat profile, so you could probably put this in an inner waistband holster with ease. Just really good. It feels nice just generally in the hand because the grip's a little bit wider, so it's not like holding a tiny thing. It feels literally like the cross between a Walther PPK and a Makarov, which is kind of what I think they were going for on the design, it seems. The trigger's kind of weird. You pull back on the hammer just to try it out, and usually the hammer or the trigger will set back once you pull back on the hammer. So once again, I'll show you. I'll pull the hammer back. Oh, my hands are all sweaty and greasy. Pull the hammer back, and the trigger still sits there. Now, you've got to go through all that room right there like a two-stage trigger, and then it'll fire. So it's kind of got a rough trigger on it. It didn't do too bad when I was shooting it at 25 yards. I was still able to hit stuff. So once again, you pull the trigger, you've got all this room to crawl. And then you got to go back like that. So the trigger's okay. The gun itself feels pretty good. You can use two hands. You can use one. It's big enough to hold two. And it does snap, actually. When you do shoot it, because I took it out about a week ago, it does snap. It's got some pop to it, which is pretty cool. It feels like about a 40 cal, but that's probably just because this thing's so small and the buffer spring really isn't the best. But anyways, so out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'd probably rate this at about a 5. It's functional. They're cool. They're cheap. But it's far from the best gun. The magazine capacity sucks. Magazines suck to buy for these because they're really expensive if you can find them. You can get these. Aim Surplus had these, the grade 2 condition. I always do the quotes because it's not. They're like just got a little bit of magazine wear, but they're $200 shipped, which was a freaking awesome deal for a little gun. It's a piece of history too, because it's 50 years old already, which is insane. So yeah, you can get one at Aim Surplus. I think J&G Sales has them too. They're still in the primary market. They've been since I started collecting. They'll come and go, which is fine because they're a cool little handgun. And hopefully everybody can get one of these. They're cheap enough, and the ammunition's cheap enough. They're just a fun little gun, you know. All right, so we'll wrap up the video. I appreciate everyone watching. For those who are new to these videos and my channel, if you can like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And for everyone watching, I have a link to my Patreon in the description section of this video. And if you could click on that, and if you're interested, you can support me for even just $1 a month to help me buy cool stuff to make videos. I'll get better camera equipment, better microphones, just better stuff to help you guys learn more about these things and show you what they look like in action. Because I know a lot of you guys are in areas where you can't buy guns and you can't own them, and I feel bad for you, but hopefully this is the closest thing you can get, and you can still see these things in action. This stuff, military surplus items, knives, bayonets, guns, ammo, you name it, camouflage. So yeah, anyways, if you could check out my Patreon and possibly support me on there, that would be fantastic. If not, that's perfectly fine too, and I really appreciate you watching. So until next time, we will see ya.